Yo, I want to chill right now.
You're disrespecting me in a public forum right now. You realize that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want that to be the goal of the podcast, for somebody to let go of their worries in the world and listen to us.
This is my new look, Daddy David. Daddy David.
Born to procreate. Born to procreate. Yeah, that better make it in the intro.
Nah, probably not. Sometime I was gonna do this.
Yeah, let's fucking take it.
Sometimes I might be introvert. Welcome everybody to episode 97 of the Unboxing Life podcast.
Yes, sir.
Today we're reviewing Sometimes I Might Be Introvert by Little Simz, everybody. My album of 2021. Taking us a minute. We've had a delay for relevant things coming out, but we're here talking about it. If everyone hates this album, it's my fault, and it's an hour of misery right here now. But
It'll be another Cash episode.
oh boy. All right. I'm Simba. Sometimes I might be antisocial. I guess people wait last, and me doing it first was kind of egotistical.
Nah, you're
sorry,
you're
everybody.
You're fine, my G.
Now we gotta know who you are, who's talking. So.
Yes, me is Dave. I'm David. We got Protect My Treasure.
What's good, my G? You said it's your album? This is pretty cool. I didn't know this was yours. I didn't know you were a woman. So
That's true. I produced it.
makes that second track even more hard.
Yeah, it hits harder. Yeah. We got Sometimes It Might Be Uzi Vert.
What is going on, everybody? You know, it is true. You know, we got the Verts, the different Verts, the Vert family. So I'm here. I'm living.
Yeah, he's living. And last but not least, we got Sometimes I Might Be CB.
That's me. That's Cameron. Just chilling. Ready to get into it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Who's
dope.
going first with the traditions, baby?
Who's going first? I'll say Trevor, you go first.
Oh, shit. All right. So we had a quick laugh about this show right before we started recording. I have been recently watching The Mandalorian, and I actually just finished the first season. Again, this is my second time watching it. And I just started season 2, so that's pretty cool. But the two freaking words that I'm about to give you for your words of the day came directly from that show. So your first word of the day is prom. It is P-R-A-M. And it is a small, lightweight, nearly flat-bottomed boat with a broad transom and usually squared-off bow or bow. And all that to say, that was homie, the Imperial... spoilers, if you haven't watched The Mandalorian, or if you have lived under a rock like I have, that is the Imperial guy referring to the carriage that Baby Yoda sits in. He calls it a prom. So,
Nice.
and the other one also comes from the Imperial General as well. The other word is libation, and it is Libatation, and it is an act of pouring a liquid as a sacrifice as to a deity. So, yeah.
Libation to a deity.
Yeah. Or it is an act or instance of drinking, often ceremoniously. So
Right. I've heard people.
What's
a
the
lot of
context
people will be doing
in the
that.
show?
the context was, I believe he had just brought Baby Yoda back at the very last episode. He brought Baby Yoda back to the Nessus, I think, or Navarro. That's where they were. He brought it back to the planet, and he's like, "Yo, would you like a libation? Like, you brought back the highly valued asset," kind of thing.
Oh,
And he fucking
Cool.
dies.
nice.
Nice.
Dope. All right, let's see. I'll do mine real quick. It's very simple. It's just another Little Simz track that's not from this album. It is Venom by Little Simz, but it is
Okay.
not the remix she did for a Total Carnage movie or whatever. It's like some love child of hers and Eminem's or whatever it was. I didn't check that
Wait,
out.
so was that a thing, or are you
It
joking?
was. She did I don't know what she did. She rapped over Eminem's beat, or she put the original song over his beat, or something like that.
Odd.
For Total
Interesting.
Carnage. I don't know
But,
why.
okay, so the hook is actually bearable this time, right?
I think it's her hook, so yes. I think
Is it
it's
still
not the original.
Venom?
No, I don't know.
I'd be disappointed if
weird.
it's not.
This is the original freaking song. It's better. There's the dark side and the light side of songs titled Venom. And this is the bright and sunny, beautiful side. It's
Gotcha.
hard. It's got some live instrumentation, just like this album, and it just goes hard. Check it out. It's a quick banger.
What's it called again?
Venom. It actually went big on TikTok, I think, recently, and this is part of it. But it
Cool.
was kind of big before that.
Who's it by?
Little Simz.
We like to hear it. I just want to make sure everyone gets the
Yeah,
track clearly.
for sure. It's important.
Check that shit out, baby.
Okay, let's check out this joke from Alex.
The joke. All right, so it's a question. It's a form of a question. What do two Little Simz tracks sound like?
Oh God. All right. Plus Ultra.
Okay.
You're just reading David's shirt.
Yeah. Well, you said two, so I added them together.
Added them together.
What are they called?
Well, they sound. What do they sound like?
What do they sound like?
They sound similar.
Oh
God.
wow!
Oh, I was looking
Alex's
for...
first joke.
Okay.
You know those like Christmas ornaments where you're like baby's first Christmas? The
Yeah.
joke should be like Alex's first joke.
Hang it on my tree or something.
That's good. Yeah.
Just a wave file, like a printout of a wave file.
Different.
a thumb drive.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, thumb drive.
Thumb drive,
shit,
yeah.
that's the last
Thumb
episode.
drive. Spoiler alert.
Spotify.
Spoiler
Code.
alert.
All right.
Spoiler alert for
If you haven't listened to this album, spoiler alert.
Yeah,
No
for
context spoilers.
sure. Yeah.
If you know,
All
you
right.
know.
I figured this might transition most naturally, so let's get Cameron's fact of the freaking week.
I hope
right
so.
here and now.
Sure, dude. So the Wikipedia page for Little Simz, aka Simbi, states that she is ethnically Yoruba, being born of Nigerian parents. She was born in London, as you can tell from her accent, but her parents were Nigerian. And the Yoruba people are a West African ethnic group that mainly inhabits the parts of Nigeria, Benin, and Togo that constitute Yoruba land. The Yorubas constitute around 45 million people in Africa and are a few 100,000 people outside the continent. And so the fun fact part of my little spiel here is the twinning, which is instances of like twins being born, is seen at the highest rates in the world in the Yoruba people. And it is at a rate of 41 per 1,000, which is 4 times the rate of Caucasians in the United States and the United Kingdom, which is about 10 or 11 per 1,000. So they're extremely common in Yoruba, and they even have like festivals for it. And in Yoruba culture, like in folklore, the second born twin is seen as the elder twin, because the idea is that the elder twin sends the younger one into the world first to determine if it is like fit to be born into, and then the elder one will follow afterwards.
Dang.
So there's your crash course on twin
Dang.
culture in Yoruba.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
like-
yeah.
It's like,
Higher
yo,
than a.
go
Yoruba
out
land.
there, let me
4%.
know if it's all good. And then it's like, yeah, it's all good. Come on out, bro.
Yeah,
Or
it's,
Tools them out.
it's on the scouting mission. Yeah,
Yep.
that's very interesting. I wonder why it's 4 times like certain other rates. That's so weird, man.
Fertile land.
Interesting. Didn't know about
Fertile
it.
land.
There
What
you
does
go.
that mean?
Right. Just throwing something out there. All right, let's freaking get into it.
There you go.
What do y'all think of
So
the
what,
OP?
what are we reviewing, baby? What's on the docket for today?
Sometimes I might be introvert, aka Simbi, by Little Simz, 2021 release.
So I have a fun fact for you, David.
Oh, okay.
Did you know that this album came out the exact same day as Drake's Certified Lover Boy?
I did, because in an interview she was talking about that. So
That's
I did.
pretty wild, honestly. I didn't
Dang,
realize
so,
that.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either. So it's really recent because that's
Yeah.
still a few months ago.
It was like,
I
yeah.
swear to God, I thought it came out in like June or something.
Oh yeah. No, it was like right with Donda and Certified Lover Boy. So this was maybe took a while to hit people's ears, or maybe the underground heads were like, "This is true art," and all that other stuff is trash. Although that's
Yeah.
probably more the Donda fans, to be fair. But
Shit, this is better than Donda 2. God damn.
yeah.
This is absolutely better than Donda.
Okay, bless up.
What's up?
We got that out of the way.
No, not that it's hard to be better than Donda.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, certain people it's hard to convince, but
hmm
um,
Well, what do we think, everybody? Long album.
it's a long album, but track by track, it doesn't drag too long. I think the longest one is the intro at like 6 minutes, and then
Mhm.
everything floats around three and a half. So it's not too much of a slog to get through.
Yeah, when you consider there's so many interludes that like it could easily be under an hour, but you know.
Yeah, there's 5 interludes, and each one is like at least a minute and a half.
Yeah, there's one that's like 3 minutes, right?
Rapper Came to Tea is like 2:44 or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that could shave off about 10 minutes, which, I'll be honest, it should. Those are my absolute least favorite parts of the album.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they don't bring a whole lot to the table, but it's a cool album, man. I don't know. I don't want to break your heart, man, but I actually disliked it the more I listened to it,
Dang. Okay.
which I tried. I don't know. I don't know what it is. This one just doesn't click for me on all fronts, and we'll get into it. But
Okay. Interesting.
how'd you
That
feel
is
about it, Alex?
interesting because I think it's cool. I mean, I really like the instrumentation side of things. It's like really well put together.
Mhm.
Even though the intro is long, like we said, it's the longest track on here, right?
Mhm.
That's probably my favorite track just because the orchestra elements.
Mhm.
It's just going hard, so I can appreciate the diversity of styles implemented on this album.
Mhm.
Like yeah, so like there's various styles. Like towards the end, there's like some culturally influenced percussion in "Fear No Man."
Afro
I think is
beats,
the track.
yeah. Fear No Man and Point and Kill are like
Point and kill.
And then
super
you have
African
"Protect My
influenced.
Energy," which is very like pop esque. It's so it's interesting. It's an interesting listen in that it's not your typical what you don't know what to expect because there is some different genres on here, which I appreciate. That. And I'm kind of with Trevor on like I don't know like what to say about what I dislike about it. I just know that it's like not always for me, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
I can't put my finger on it. Like I don't know if it's her delivery or some of her rhyming schemes, but I don't know what it is. It's been I've been trying to like articulate it in my mind as I've been listening to it, but I can't quite place my finger on it. But I do think it's cool. And I dig it
Yeah.
a lot. Mainly the instrumentation is what stood out to me the most. And actually, some of the interludes are I really do enjoy it. Like the Garden interlude is probably one of my favorite tracks, just because of like the beautiful. I don't know what's in there, like a harp or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but I really do dig the instrumentation from a production standpoint.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, definitely. Hmm.
What about you, Cameron? What say you?
Yeah, I'm similar to both those takes. Like very simply put, it didn't like as a whole like strike me or captivate me like a lot of the time, but there are like tracks that I like. I'd agree with Alex for sure. The instrumentation is probably my favorite part of it because you have like the full orchestra and string section and everything sometimes, and other times it's like a completely different variety. But either way, it's a lot of fun there. But there were no like stank face type beats or anything that was like completely captivating you, at least from my standpoint. But there were like I remember talking about it with Trevor. There were just like moments of gold of like her lyricism is like decent at the worst, and then like she'll just like be chilling and just drop some gold for like 6 bars at you all of a sudden, which as we go like through, we can talk about that more. But yeah.
We can jump right into that. Like
we can.
He's referring to Little Q.
Yeah.
Where she like very casually just drops, "Oh, by the way, I got harpooned in the chest by some dude that was going through it," and I don't even blame him. Like maybe he's just a product of his environment. Like I'm like, what the fuck just like? I remember walking. I was walking in the city, and I had my shit in, and I'm like, wait, what? What the fuck? Like, you got stabbed in the chest, and you okay?
Yeah.
And you're rapping about it like that? Like, I would have been pissed.
Facts.
Yeah, that's a very interesting point to touch on. Because that's one of my, that's a highlight for me too. And I think you guys, even though I love it so much more than you guys, I guess I kind of, in a way, feel what you're saying with maybe for Alex, like, you know, not putting his finger on it, and maybe the lyricism. I think she has a decent amount of filler bars on this album as a whole, but then she has a substantial amount where it's like this, where it's just like, bruh, like Lil Q Part 2, like you're talking about.
Yeah.
Where it's just like the most beautiful, poetic way you could have told that story.
Right. Yeah. No, I applaud her for even approaching a situation like that. I mean, obviously, I'm sure. I don't know when that happened. I don't know this woman's story, but I would assume that happened a little bit in the past for her to be able to reflect on it, because I'm assuming she probably wasn't that forgiving when that shit first happened. But it's cool to see her like come around in that perspective. But yeah, the filler bars, I could basically get the majority of the idea of each track, you know, just based on a couple bars here and there. Like you said, that they're pretty great. They're sprinkled in sporadically, but a lot of the times I just get lost in what she's saying, and I think that is ever present on "I Love You, I Hate You," where it's like, yes, I know you're talking about your father, but there's very little being said specifically about him, and I kind of don't understand, apart from her, like her father just not being there at all. I don't really understand the story behind that. Like, she doesn't really paint it that well for me.
That wasn't one of the ones I was thinking would be that way, but yeah, I guess I could see that. I like it from a perspective of just talking about how she feels about it now as a grown adult, and just being like, you know, are you a sperm donor, your dad? And then she talks about like, there's a part of me that understands he was just a boy once. Like, you look at the picture, you know it was destroyed, you don't know what was kept. Like, is there any part of him that's still like good that I can relate to and talk to now? And so I felt like that was the major point of it. And you're right, she doesn't really go into detail about what happened when she was younger, like if he left suddenly or what the exact story was. But for me, I guess she didn't need to, because the focus was slightly different. But yeah,
that's fair.
I get that.
How did you guys feel about the tuning of the balance of the "I Love You, I Hate You" in the background? Was it too loud?
It's just too much. That's my major
it's like
flaw with it.
you have to strike a very fine line of balance when it comes to sampling, especially like vocal lines like that. Because like even on Duckworth by Kendrick, shout out to my shirt, like that, like they flip the beat like 3 times, and there's a point where the sample is just far too captivating for me to understand, like, or like be able to focus on his bars. So yeah, no, I agree with you.
Yeah,
I think it was a little too much sometimes.
Yeah, because it's like, I don't know, I feel like I have a problem with stuff like that, where even like "A Milli" by Lil Wayne is just like that same like little loop, but it's like distracting to me. So like I feel like I personally have a thing where like I get very distracted by even somewhat distinctive, let alone like super loud like background loops and stuff like that. So I didn't know if that was something that just I was suffering, or so it's like, you know,
no,
interesting that you guys think so as well, because it's so distinct, and like the bass hits every time on it too, so it's like, I don't know, it is very distracting. So it is. I think they could have just gotten away with it if they like had it every other bar or something like that. But it's just like every measure, and that's
literally every bar.
The thing about it, the like kind of tragic thing about it too, is I love that she like plays with it on the hook, where she's like sometimes, always, but whatever, like, and like plays with it back and forth. And if it was just there, I think the song would like benefit massively from that, because it would just like let her exist and breathe more.
And they probably could have done a little bit different, like something different with the instrumental if it was just on the hook.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I agree with that. That's my major flaw with that. But I do think that track also shows one of the album's strong points, which is one of my favorite things about it is just every track feels like a lot of care was put into it, where it has this interesting structure where you start the beat out with that, and then in the verse these strings come in and then they go out, and then it's like it's constantly like each song is progressing on itself, which is really nice. And I think that actually makes the instrumental interesting to me, and so you're not like, at least you're not stuck with the one thing the entire time. One of my favorite things about the album was I just started noticing these production details and the fact like how much they played into the songwriting, and how like it's like, oh, the song's great, and then you throw in like the end of Little Q Part 2 where, you know, she brings a choir in for another refrain that's not just the hook, and you're like, oh man, I'm just basking in it. So
I will say, and I guess, well, to that point, I wanted to bring up that song is literally like fucking first Kanye album vibes. Like,
oh yeah,
with the like when I first heard Part 1, I was like, if she doesn't use this for like the beat in the next track, I'm gonna be so pissed.
I know, yeah, I had the same feeling.
Yeah, I'm glad she kind of did like all the lights kind of thing where she like actually built up into it, but
yeah.
I don't know, that interlude kind of just feels a little pointless to me.
Yeah, I get that. The interludes are an interesting point. I think if you're like in love with them, it's a little strange to me because she really could have done a lot more with them. I enjoy most of them, but like, except Never Make Promises, I don't see the point of it
no
all.
way.
It's like,
yeah,
it's mind-numbing to me.
Insta skip. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think they're decent, and they have like cool instrumentation behind, like Alex was saying. There's some really cool like gems and stuff.
Yeah, even then, it's like 5 interludes is kind of a lot.
Right.
25% of the
even
of
though
the
I
album.
pointed out how much I like the Garden interlude, and I really do. It's like the third to last track, which is like, why would you? It's kind of weird to put an interlude that's so close to the end
Mm-hmm.
in terms of pacing.
Yeah, it's like it's like she only has so many places to put them. She got freaking 5. Like,
Yeah,
Can't put them back to back.
of the album. So
there's one point where there's like an interlude, 2 tracks, an interlude. It's like it's a little bit nuts. They don't kill me. Like, I know Trevor. We brought it up, and Trevor has talked to me about it. How that was like his big negative takeaway before. I definitely get it, but they don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I kind of like having breaks in a weird way. I mean, obviously, when I'm shuffling it, I just remove those from my playlist. But it's definitely not for everybody.
I don't know how I feel about like monologues during the
like
because
spoken word.
Yeah, or it can be done, but I feel like sometimes, in most cases, it's done. I'm talking when I say most cases, I'm talking like everybody does it.
Just in general, yeah.
Just in general, exactly. Like, it goes on too long for me, and I'm just like, all right, I'm not trying to hear you talk, you know.
Yeah, and it's like, this is a rap album. Like, take those ideas that you're speaking about and put them into bars. Like, there's so many like interesting, like the interludes themselves are interesting, like in terms of what she's trying to do with them as an idea, but they don't fledge, like they don't bloom into something that I can latch on. It's like, I just want to hit the next song, you know. Like, I wish she would have taken the assets that she put into those interludes and just turned them into full songs. Like,
yeah, that's a really good point, because she could easily do it. I mean, she shows her ability to touch on that subject in a thoughtful way, and like a great example is like, I think it's Gems, where she's just like getting all these like words of advice, but they don't go that far, because it's just like, hey, like, you know, trust yourself and basically believe in yourself, and then, you know, don't be your worst enemy, be your best friend. And it's like, that's I'm listening to this for a couple of minutes, like go somewhere with that in your raps at least, or you know. Yeah, definitely a good point.
Yeah.
For sure. I read the rapper that came to tea. I read that as the Reaper came to tea, like for weeks straight. I swear to God. And then I finally saw a rapper, and I'm like, what? That was there the whole like, y'all edited that. Yeah, y'all had to have edited it.
Mandela effect. Yeah.
Yes, it's like GIF and GIF, like with the peanut butter. Like certain people are just like, yo, it was spelled with a G. I'm like, What are you talking about?
It never was spelled with a G, but
Exactly.
Well, the big one. People think Pikachu has a black tip at the end of its tail.
Yeah, I thought that for
Yeah.
a long time too.
It doesn't, or is it the brown
No.
like in the mid? Like it's brown somewhere, right, on his tail.
On its back, but
We're not getting into this.
Okay, we'll save that one. Yes, I think as Alex mentioned, Introvert is probably also my favorite track. That and Little Q Part 2.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing.
I don't
mean,
know, man. I
Yeah.
like the horns. I think the tempo just fucks me up. I think it's the dun 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 dun. I don't know something about the scaling of it. It just strikes the wrong chord for me. It doesn't do a whole lot for me. And then it goes into a completely different, like, it's so disjointed. It's such a juxtaposition from like the horn section to the whatever strings, and then it's got like a more mid-tempo beat into it, like a contemporary rap, not contemporary rap, but just like a normal quote unquote rap beat. And then it goes back into the horns. It's just, I don't know, it doesn't bleed together right for me.
I think I like it a lot as an opener versus like a standalone track. Like it goes in and out and like has like dedicated orchestra parts is reminiscent of like a play or like some like a symphony orchestra kind of a thing. So yeah, I like it as an opener, and obviously the end of that track is like her introducing Woman, which is I believe the biggest track on this album, or the highest performing one. And so she says like what it means to be a woman, and then Woman plays. So I mean, I think it serves its purpose beautifully. I think it's like, here's this big show. It gave me a lot of faith going into the album, for sure.
Yeah, she's rapping like crazy on that one. But that's a good point.
For sure.
She does that a few times, I want to say, where she will introduce the next track at the end of the album, and I didn't really catch it till a lot of listens in, honestly. But it makes it a lot more cohesive. I think like Two Worlds Apart and Woman, there's something, and I really like Two Worlds Apart because it feels like an extension of Woman when it just drops into that next beat. I don't know why, they're both just so soulful. It's really nice.
Yeah, it makes
Worlds
sense.
Apart is tied for my favorite favorite of the album for sure.
That makes sense. Yeah,
I like Two Worlds Apart.
yeah.
And even the refrain of repeating the same the same word 5 times, it drove me nuts when I first heard
I was
it.
gonna say, I would think that I would think you would
enjoyed
dock it so many points for that.
I still do it. I don't think she delivers it the way I would like it to be. I don't think she needs to repeat it 5 times each time, but there's so many like great lines on that song. I quoted one on my fucking on my story, like, bougie bougie bougie, you made her your everything, but she was just a groupie. Like, that line fucking cracks me up.
Yes.
There's another one on here that's pretty fucking great. I can't remember where it was, but
Yeah, it's a lot of cool like chill imagery too. Like she's like Jodeci, cherry wine sipping, and all this stuff. She's like, we were smoking marijuana, listening to Kendrick Lamar. The way she says that always
She loves to say marijuana, like the whole word every time. Like every time she talks about weed, marijuana every time. It's great.
yeah.
But I do like how she bends like Kendrick Lamar, like to make it fit.
Yeah. And she does a really cool. Her voice is really chill on that. And she has a good mastery over her voice, just switching it up every track.
Yeah.
I think my favorite, like my favorite part of that song. Okay, if you love me, baby, why'd you want to lose me? You use me, confuse me, accuse me. It's truly a movie. That rhyme scheme is just great. This song's great.
It is. Yes, I'm glad you like that one.
Definitely like that one.
It is.
What other high points?
I think if I had like my top 3, I already said Introvert my favorite. I like Garden Interlude second. I would throw Standing Ovation up there because that one is a pretty dope track.
I like that one a lot
The
too.
vibes, yeah, I dig the vibes on it.
Yes.
It's very clean.
Is it? Does it remind you guys of Jay-Z at all?
Are you needle dropping me right now?
I know. So
Yeah,
I knew.
I'm joking.
I
I'm
know.
joking.
I know. I'm pretty sure he said that, but I thought of that before I saw that video.
I believe you. I
I
felt the same way when I said the Kanye shit because I watched his review like right before we started.
Yeah, I get mad when that happens, but
Yeah, no, it definitely gives me like encore vibes for sure.
mm-hmm.
Like what he said for sure.
grand vibe.
This is where the live instrumentation like breathes for me. I love the way she did it with this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it's all about tempo for me.
And
It's
she
that
can
easy.
right, and she uses them. You can tell it's not like a beat switch when she goes into the slower parts. It's like the instruments actually take the tempo down and then take it back up, and it's very smooth, which is pretty great. It's like mouths to feed and then scripts to read, and it starts like kicking back in. Obviously, I can't say the next part, but
Yeah.
that part's fantastic. Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Cameron?
Has the joke been made that like if Protect My Energy is PG, then Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe is PG-13 in terms of just the song title?
No, but
What?
good for
Oh,
you.
okay.
I see where you're getting at. Yeah.
I thought you were like trying to draw like parallels sonically.
No.
I was like, wow, I didn't get that at all.
just the phrase, the idea of, you know, wanting to keep your own chill vibes. Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe versus Protect My Energy.
I definitely see it.
That to being said, Protect My Energy is one of my favorite on the
It's
on the
my
album for
second
sure.
favorite.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a good vibe.
It's weird because it doesn't belong on this album at all. Like,
Very different.
It is like 80s synth pop out of nowhere.
It-
Nowhere. Like this was a weekend B-side damn near. Like
Yeah.
That's
I was like,
hilarious
what-
that you say
what
that.
just happened?
That's hilarious that you say that because like when this played, I was like, did the album end and I'm on shuffle? Like
That's literally facts, man. Because I was driving when I first heard this, and I looked at my dashboard. I'm like, wait, this is her? What the fuck is happening?
I was like, did I
where'd the
start-
12 tracks that I just listened to go?
did I start Little Simz Radio? Like what is happening?
Yeah.
I
Like,
feel
was this
you.
6 years old?
I feel you, but I also don't feel you because I can really appreciate as someone that puts the most random joints on his projects. I can appreciate when you just hear
I can too.
different styles. So
I'm not mad at it. It's just funny.
The
Yeah.
smorgasbord of fucking
sure.
genres that she taps into
sure.
on here.
it's definitely an interesting creative choice to make. It's a bold one
I enjoy it because the song is great, but
for sure.
You know, it's funny. It's probably one of my least favorite on
I knew
here.
it. He just doesn't like the straightforward pop joints.
And I knew you guys, it would be one of your favorites. I mean,
That's
it's good.
so
Don't get
good.
me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It is good, but it's one of the ones that, I mean, I guess maybe that's, you know, it's so different, and I'm just such a big fan of the other stuff she's doing. But
That's fair.
and it's very straightforward, and it sounds good. But it's like one of the only ones that feels like it doesn't have that multifaceted progression I was talking about earlier.
It definitely
But-
doesn't. It shows its cards in the first 4 measures or so.
Yeah, but it's good. It's good. I like
Yeah, it's got a nice little bounce with the.
for sure a nice bass line. Yeah. The structure of this album is interesting, and it took me a long time to get into it really, because she you know, out of the gate is like this big grand opener. She's talking about all this stuff, and she has this kind of aggressive flow, and then it's like immediately into like chill tracks, and that threw me off for a while. But then it's like she ramps back up into these more like braggadocious bangers, which works really well for me. Which Rolling Stone is, I don't know. What do you guys? You're not a. I didn't think this would be a favorite.
No,
Yeah.
This one's an insta skip.
Wow. Okay.
Insta skip,
I
like
mean-
slap on my phone skip. I first praised it. I remember like texting you. I was like, "Yo," I'm pretty sure I texted you. We talked about this song before, where I was like, "Yo, she actually like did a contemporary trap beat. This is kind of cool."
Mhm.
And then I kept listening to it. I'm like, "This is so minimalistic, and it doesn't really work with the delivery." I don't know. I don't like when she's braggadocious on here at all.
That's-
Like when she's attempting bangers like this and Speed are like 2 of the lowest points on here for me.
Speed
Some of
grew
these-
on me.
Some of these
I will
trap
say.
sounds, it is part of the whole thing where she's doing different. She's doing like a chill hop vibe, and then she's going to pop, and then she's doing like a trap sort of thing. But some of the trap sounds, man, like the clap is the most like standard clap. Like the trap bell it sounds like a Busy Works Beats type beat.
Damn. Damn.
These are the sounds that man would use.
Sent him to the graveyard, banished to the shadow realm. Oh my goodness.
That's tough.
Just listen to like the clap next time. Like,
I mean, I get
the
it.
little ding, the 808 ding or whatever. But man, it's the most basic kit.
Called it a Busy Works beat. Get him out.
I just
of
don't.
here.
I guess the second verse on here is like nails on a chalkboard for me. Just with like it's like a mix of a deadpan flow with like a decrescendo that she starts at the top and then goes down like I'm a mix of both like that. I can't do it.
Okay.
How do you feel about it? I'm sorry. I don't want to. I know you adore this album. That's why I'm not trying to be like.
No.
I have like very specific reasons why I don't like it. It's just like I don't want to come in here and just say this is trash. But
I feel you.
How you feel about it?
I feel you. I definitely am a fan of the song. I guess it did take me a while though, because it's more just about her energy and her flow on it, and I just like the fact that she keeps going. And I feel like I can just nod my head to it. And I guess, but I mean, the sounds are kind of basic. It works for me just because it sounds a lot different from the other stuff. So it's not like a trap album where she's using this stuff all the time. But that's not really an excuse necessarily. And she, like the stuff I was talking about with filler bars, I think she is better at that introspection and storytelling and like, painting a picture than she is at straight up braggadocious bars. And that's where most of the fillers come in. So it's kind of, I also understand that criticism. It's a pretty big contrast when you hear her saying like, really standard stuff like, I step in the club and everyone knows I'm here, or like, touch me, I'm gonna go Super Saiyan, you know what I'm saying?
Or like pull up in the lot with something new or something. She says something like that.
Yeah, she'll throw out a lot of really like, okay, this bar's supposed to hit, and it's just like a standard phrase you would hear in a lot of other rap albums, which generally her flow and the production and everything saves it. And the fact that she gets in so many different pockets emotionally and whatnot, and she has a lot of stuff to say where it's like, it's standard, but it like scratches the itch with her, and then I can move on to something else. I don't know.
I think what drags it down for me so much is that she taps into a lot of different things maturely and emotionally, that when I hear these very standard brags, I'm just like, why is this here? This has no place here. Like, we're doing some deep introspection like on a lot of these tracks, and then I get Rolling Stone and I'm like, I don't know. It just felt like a B-side that she was having fun with, and I totally get that, but I don't think it should have made the album.
Yeah. I think this album as a whole is definitely more of a smorgasbord, like you said. It's just a lot of things done really well. I think it miraculously comes together really well because of the transitions, and I think they put a lot of time into, just like picking out sounds that could somehow go together. But it's not the strongest at one thing. It's just, to me, it's very lovingly put together of her just doing everything she wants to do right now in her life and putting it out there.
Would you say it's a jack of all trades, master of none?
Yeah, I would say so. But it's, well, I mean, I love it so much that I can't quite say that, because I think it masters certain things. Like Little Q Part 2 is masterful storytelling, like Introvert is one of my favorite tracks of last year. So that's why it's so good. It's like everything is at least good, and then some stuff is amazing to me. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Can we talk about something that's not good?
Please.
that fucking those bars on Speed. Got a hard drive full of classics. I keep that shit locked up in the attic.
Oh yeah.
I bring them out. It's a rap though. I'm not sure if these homies can hack it. What is that? Let me judge. I know I said this word for word to you, so I'm gonna keep saying it because we're recording. But
was this on the podcast last time?
No, it was not. I had I didn't know we were gonna review this, so like I gave a lot of my takes to David already, but
Oh, okay.
let the public judge that. You know, it's like it's one of those things where it's like I don't ever want to hear that from anyone. If even Drake says that, y'all know that's my favorite rapper. If Drake says that, I want to hear the fucking classics that you call classics. I don't want to hear it in a line. That doesn't mean anything to me. My ears have to hear that.
It's like, what are you bragging about? You
Like,
yo, I got classics that only I can hear. I'm so great.
And
like, what?
And nothing is gonna stop when you drop it. Like, I get it. It's supposed to just be a one-off, and you're not supposed to examine that line. But it's a rap, though. Like, come on,
Like,
just drop the fucking music then.
That's like a plankton scheme where he's like, I got it on my computer and nobody else can hear it. Like,
that's funny. Yeah,
he's like the dude that fucking bought the Wu-Tang album for $2 million.
Martin Shkreli.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah. No, I got this RZA joint. This just flame.
And it's just like a freaking tracks that were cut from like a Wu-Tang project, probably.
Right.
Yeah, that didn't make actual albums that came out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, it is like when a rapper is like putting out their album and they're talking about their other stuff. It's like, okay, then what's this? Like,
why are you putting this out if everything that you have in the stash is so much better? Like,
yeah,
word.
I get it. I definitely get it.
I don't know. That was the only like, I mean, besides like just me cringing in general at like certain tracks, that was the only like bar that I was like, I kept hearing and I was like, damn, this does not hit. This is whack. That was the one whack bar.
Dang, yeah. Okay.
Which is not that's great considering the album is like almost 70 minutes long, you know?
Yeah, true.
So that's saying something, but
like a Super Saiyan, which was my weakest bar of the album.
Yeah.
My whack bar of the album, but yeah.
You hating on Super Saiyan?
Yeah.
We're hating on that, yeah.
I remember
when Denzel does fucking Super Saiyan, whatever he called it. Super Saiyan is Superman or whatever. Yeah.
I remember, Trevor, you said point and kill wasn't your thing when we had talked about it as well.
Yeah.
Early on.
Stayed like that. That and Fear No Man.
Wrong.
Sorry, bud. I think Fear No Man is actually the same instrumental as Point and Kill, but just like twice speed.
What?
And I kind of want us to like, maybe that was just the one listen this morning that I was like, oh, it sounds so similar, but
it sounds similar because of percussive elements, but it's not the same.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna argue you on Fear No Man, but Point and Kill is a certified banger.
No, it's not.
Yes, bro.
No, it is not.
I love it. It feels so good. It's
that
great.
Groove.
It's just not.
It's
not
groovy.
my
It's
style.
groovy,
like,
dude.
I don't enjoy like Afro beats like a lot, like at all. It's
like
just one of those
Man.
genres that it's just unfortunately not for me.
Mm.
Not that the song is bad in any way, but just for me, I'm never throwing that on.
Dang.
More for me, dude.
Oh, I think I could speak more towards
I don't think
Fear
that's
No
how
Man,
music works.
because I could notice similarities between Fear No Man and Point and Kill, but I think with Fear No Man, I like tracks that can put me in a different headspace culturally. Like you feel like this is like instrumentation specific to a certain culture that it's like, all right, this is a rich sound, you know? I really enjoy tracks that let me hear something that I wouldn't normally hear or go out of my way to hear. But
I do like the on Fear No Man. I do like the I want to call it an organ, where it's almost like the baseball sound that you hear at a baseball game. It's like dun, 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 dun. That whatever that instrument is. I like that, but that's the one high I have for that
the
song.
baseball organ, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what to call the instrument, unfortunately.
Yeah,
It's probably some type of electric piano or something.
I think. I mean, to your guys' point, they definitely sound similar. I think in the video for, it's like there's a combined video for both of them where she like is like doing point and kill, and then she just like busts out dancing with Fear No Man or something, and it's great. She is like you're saying that the Nigerian influence is really present, and it's very, not that I know of like where specific regions where this is from, but it's a different sound, and she really makes it accessible to people, and it's cool that there's like hand percussion and all this stuff. And Fear No Man has this really like loose vibe, like she's just having. It sounds like you're kind of in the middle of a party, and she like took the center of the dance floor and started rapping or freestyling. That's what it sounds like to me. So that helps it a lot.
Well, she did do that in Venom 2, so.
Did she?
Yeah, she's in that movie.
Oh yeah.
Well, in the movie?
Yeah, she like not like y'all give a shit about the movie because y'all shouldn't.
I mean,
but-
I've seen it, but I don't recall.
Yeah,
I don't know.
she's there. They go to that nightclub or whatever, and Venom like, I think it's when are y'all gonna watch the movie? Like do y'all really care at all or?
I mean,
If
I'm
I
going
watch
to,
it-
but you can just say it.
Yeah.
They just go to a party, but like fucking Eddie Brock and the symbiote have a falling out, so Venom goes by himself and he just keeps like fucking
Okay, yeah,
possessing people in the party that he's at, but Little Simz is hosting the party and she's like rapping along and she's performing on stage for the party.
That was kind of funny.
Well, that's
Yeah.
something that I would not have like picked up on prior to listening to this.
Yeah, I watched it in the theater. I'm like, wait, that's her? Like, what the fuck? It was such a weird cameo.
Yeah, that's the script she had to read. That's artist/actor money, I guess.
There you go.
Okay.
She
Alright.
was in another like I think a UK show about rappers too. It's something over there, but she's definitely doing all that.
Gotcha.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Would've known.
Shout out to that fucking absolutely horrible dump truck of a movie.
Oh my
Was it
God.
worse than the first one?
No, but it's still a horrible movie.
You said no.
It's exactly no. It's not. It's not worth. Venom 1 is atrocious.
Okay.
I don't know.
Venom 1 is
Well,
pretty
there we
bad.
go.
I don't know.
Well,
You
This
you
is-
just
this
like Venom
isn't
2 more?
This isn't a Venom review, so we'll
I
save
don't
this
care.
to-
We're fucking we're here.
go with it.
Yes. I
Okay.
would say so. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Well, that'll be our next.
Not that it's much of a
It's definitely
freaking
not gonna be our
comparison.
next review.
Not that it's a freaking comparison, but
We'll forgo
Going off the
Jimmy's
rails.
surprise and review
We'll
Venom.
forget. Yeah, for the 5-year-old. God, 5-month-old movie.
God. Yeah. Ay.
Hmm.
We got a
Anyway,
couple more tracks to unpack, though.
pretty much, album ends very strong in my opinion.
Absolutely, I 1000% agree with you. Which of the two? Because I also gave you this take where I thought "How Did You Get Here" should have been the album closer. I don't think that is
I definitely get that
a
vibe
debate
listening to it.
for at least for me. But
Going from the interlude to that track, it sounds like the finale.
not to mention the track name, what she's talking about, the length of it. It's so off-putting when another track comes on after this one. I'm like, why? Why? How did you get here? You spent all this album like now you're explaining even in more depth. Like this gives you the perfect snapshot of like a lot of her family life and stuff like that. And it's like, why is this not ending it? This is perfect. This is like,
I mean,
look what you've done by Drake, perfect kind of thing.
but it's like you're trying to comprehend it, but really you just misunderstood.
Oh,
I'm dead inside.
Get absolutely
Yeah.
fucked, Trevor.
yeah.
As he sips the brisk, get brisked on, sucker.
I hope that has high fructose corn syrup.
Oh,
What?
dang.
How dare you?
No, brisk has high fructose.
Fuck,
Absolutely,
it
it does. Yeah, fucking hell yeah, it does. That's a Coke product.
Jeez.
Jesus
Well-
Christ. Pepsi sponsor us.
Mm,
No.
yeah, sure.
No.
What do you mean? No,
No.
I
I'd rather have a
avoided the
Coke
Coke game and went with
instead of-
Sprite instead.
Yeah,
That's
we're
still
gonna
a
wait.
Coke product. What the fuck?
That's not the
Sprite.
that's not the point of the bar.
This is a dumb bar.
What? Drake is literally saying, "I didn't sell Coke. I got sponsored by Sprite instead." He said, "I avoided the
still
Coke
Coke.
game and went with Sprite instead."
Yeah,
That's
he
not
said
fucking
freaking
Trevor.
Pepsi instead. He should have said
He got
Pepsi.
sponsored by
Trevor,
Sprite.
you have to stop screaming. You're not coming through.
It's still, the joke's on him because he's still in the Coke game.
Oh,
Just
dang.
subliminally.
He didn't know
All
about
right,
this.
so yeah, "How Did You Get Here" is great. David, how did you feel about this track?
You know what, man? It is great. It's one of my favorites. You know, I get it. It's like perfectly poised to be the album closer, and she even goes like Sims as it's like trailing off. Like this is the end. Like she's telegraphing it.
Yeah,
She's freaking putting it on live TV that this is the end of the album, and then
she is.
and then it's freaking.
She is televising the revolution.
She absolutely is. And then there's another track, but I kind of it reminds me of the Billie Eilish album. Remember, she has this big, crazy track, and then she has like a mild track after that. And I liked it at the time, and I like it now. I don't know why exactly. Maybe it's becoming a trend. It's misunderstood as very homey and comforting in a way, and it's like we had this big conclusion, and now I can sort of just sit here and talk to you as the credits roll. Maybe that's the feeling I get, and I just really, I don't know, maybe I just like that track so much that I don't mind just the way she talks about her sister and just these really simple terms, but are really powerful and heartfelt.
I just really want you to call me and say, "Hey, sis, how
yes.
you dating? something,
Whoa, bro.
we should dating. Oh, you fucked up, girl. Me too."
I had the same thing.
That part is good. That
thing.
reminds me. I wanted to make sure we brought up the part with the voicemail, that skit where it's like where she's
you
just
don't
like
answer the phone.
and it just reminds me to call you, but then you don't pick up the fucking phone. Or did she swear? Did she cuss her out? I forget. But
I think she might swear. That's at the end of Woman, right?
Yeah, and then it goes into Two Worlds Apart, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She never pick up the fucking phone.
She doesn't curse. She says
She
never
doesn't?
pick up the phone.
Wow.
I just wanted her to curse. Oh well.
Yeah.
When
That was PG.
when I see the title, when I first saw the title, Misunderstood, I immediately thought Miss Anthropocene, and I don't know if that's a trend where you just put Miss.
I guess so.
And that does nothing to the conversation, but that's just where my thought process was.
No, that's a fleeting thought for you. We got to hear it then.
Yeah, some trains of thought gotta be just one little car that's chugging along.
Wow, what a bar!
Little engine that could. Yeah.
Oh man.
I love it.
Yeah. I don't know. If we're wrapping up, which is fine, it's gonna be as long or short as we want it to be. I always go into these albums that I love so much thinking I'm gonna like pull out a book and just read these freaking lyrics and like, but once we get in, I know it would be so awkward and time consuming. So I'm not gonna do that. If we all thought it was like a 10 out of 10, I would do that.
Right.
But safe to say, you know.
I mean, you can give us a few 10 out of 10 lyrics if you want, if you have them up.
It's fine.
If you have them in your mind.
It's fine.
I try to avoid doing it, but there's certain bars that, like I said earlier in the episode, that I like them too much not to read off for the audience. So.
Yeah, I mean that's what Trevor and I were saying is like there are parts that are lower parts, but she does drop gems. So if you got them,
for sure. Just man, I could have been the part of him he wished God did not waste time creting.
That's such a hard line.
Like, come on.
On Little Q Part 2.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's such a mature way to look at such a completely shitty situation.
Yeah.
I don't think I could ever look at something like that, which is I mean maybe I could if I went through something like traumatic like that, and I don't know. It's just one of those things that I guess you truly never know until it happens to you, which hopefully God never happens to any of us.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'd be salty until
At least
I die.
for a little bit, yeah. I'd be like, just a little.
I would
bit,
remember it, but I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, I remember that one time. It would be like, yo, remember that one time? That was nuts.
That was kind of crazy. Yeah. People's minds, man. I mean, then you can make a freaking diss track on that. Someone can make a dope song out of that. But she chooses to. I mean, the amount of things she takes from it, like she was reminded that she was mortal, and you see who's really cares about you when people don't show up to the hospital and that kind of thing. Like, one event. It's just nutty.
That's true. It's deep.
Nutty as frick. But
do y'all ever think about speaking of that? Do y'all ever think about like if y'all broke down and you couldn't get roadside assistance, like who would pick up the phone if you called? Do you ever think about that?
A little bit.
No.
I have pretty good confidence in a lot of my close friends doing it.
I think about that at least like once a week. I don't know why. It's just a reoccurring thought for me.
Sometimes I have a dark thought where it's like, what if something happened to me? How long would it take for you guys to find out? And realistically, like it would take like the next time like we would communicate and you would need something from me and then you realize I'm not responding and then figure out that something's wrong. You know, like it would take like however
Yeah.
long.
I
And I'm
think
like,
about
that's
that a
what's
lot
kind of
too.
crazy to me. Like,
It would also
Yeah.
depend on exactly what happened to you.
That's
Like
true.
if you were able to communicate, like you knew I was in a car accident like the night of.
Nah, yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah,
it certainly depends.
that's like
Mhm.
that's like a horrifying like intrusive thought that I've had of like the idea of like every murder or tragedy is like happened upon by someone, and like the person heading there doesn't know that that's gonna happen. So like you're headed home and you have an intrusive thought of like, oh, like my family could be dead right now and I wouldn't know, and I'm like about to go see them.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah,
Mhm.
it's like,
I have that all the time.
yeah, world is a scary place. So I'm gonna give it to you early. Be kind, stay safe. I'll give it to you again later on. But Jesus Christ,
I know.
Yo.
Yeah. Wow. That's fun.
All right. Well, yeah. As we dive deep into our emotions and our intrusive
Yeah,
thoughts
dude.
that keep us up at night,
shit's crazy.
Uh-huh.
it absolutely is. Do we want to give final thoughts? We're at 55 minutes, so we unpack this thing for sure.
Sure, yeah. We can give you guys want to go, I guess. Might as well.
I'll go with mine. Yeah, fuck it. Like I said, I don't want to. I don't want to shit on this album too bad. It's unfortunately, even the tracks that I do like, I'm not rushing to go back to and hear. I definitely appreciate what she tried to do with this album, and not what she tried, what she did. She accomplished a lot with this album, and I'm definitely looking forward to more projects from her. She definitely has my attention for the future. I'm glad that she's getting the attention that she deserves because she is a great storyteller, and like it or not, she's very versatile. So I'm definitely looking forward to future projects from her. Unfortunately, like I said, most of this isn't for me, and I probably won't be a return customer in terms of this album. Are we giving ratings too?
Sure.
I'm gonna give this one a strong 4.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that Okay.
Alright. I'll go next, I guess. I mean, it's been said already a bunch of times. My general thoughts are the same as when I initially introduced them. Good music, cool stuff, couple bangers for sure. I like Point and Kill. I think in terms of like revisiting and whatever, I don't think I'll listen to this as a whole album much at all anymore. But I will put I know at least Little Q, Part 2, Point and Kill, Protect My Energy are going in like songs. Maybe Misunderstood and Introvert is good, but like I said, I like it as an opener to the album more than I do like a track by itself. As a track by itself, it's like that up and down is like I'm more on Trevor's side when I'm listening to it by itself than like as a part of a bigger project, So yeah. All that. I'll go the 5.5. It's she puts too many gems, and I like enough songs on there that it's like I definitely can't go below 5. Actually, I'll say 6 because I like a couple of those songs too much. 5.5 feels too low, so I'll say 6.
Okay. And don't get it fucked up because I have 8 of these joints on my like songs, so it won't be going anywhere. I'm just not going out of my way to get to them.
Huh?
Yeah.
You got something from it.
That's basically how the takeaway for me is like I will like enjoy having those when they come on shuffle, but probably won't go finding them anytime soon.
Yeah.
So,
If you guys can take something from it, that's cool.
But definitely enjoyed experiencing it and hearing that sound, and like definitely I think the first British rapper I've ever or British artist even that I've listened to a full album of, not even like Adele or Ed Sheeran I've listened to a full project of. So
Oh,
What a shame.
yeah.
That is a shame. I was gonna say Adele, but you're doing me wrong. I did say
doing me
I
wrong.
think you had an Adele album
Dua
on
Lipa.
your top of all time, didn't you?
Dua Lipa.
Oh,
yeah.
Dua Lipa, true. That's true.
Yeah.
That is a
Suck it.
full
She's
album.
Albanian.
Suck it.
Suck it.
She's Albanian though.
She's not British? Or?
No.
I mean, you can be both. Can you? I don't know. Okay.
I don't know. Who knows?
She
Anyway,
has
for
that
me,
accent. I don't know.
My Albanian friend told me that she was Albanian. I didn't know.
Okay.
Anyway,
all right, cool.
it was a good
Anyways.
experience. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure. For
Nice.
me, I would say the instrumentation just goes too hard to ignore in some instances. The production value is super clean. I think it's what carries it for me. Not to say that her as a performance is lackluster, because it's not. I just really enjoy that side of it. I'm gonna go with Cameron. I'm gonna give it a 6. That's what I had in mind for the mostly had in mind. I was juggling between ratings, but I think I'm giving it a favorable 6 for me. I did enjoy it. Uh, like you guys said, I'm not gonna go back to it anytime soon. Maybe if I feel in an instrumental mood, I will. I will. But also, like you guys said, looking forward to what comes out next. Maybe we'll review another one of her joints whenever it comes out. So,
Hell yeah.
yeah, big things to look forward to. She'll release those classics that she's got on that thumb drive.
Oh boy.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
David,
Alright.
sorry, I don't want to cut off Alex fully.
No, I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done.
Do whatever you want, of course. I feel like you're probably gonna take a more middling, like not, but take this opportunity to tell us we're whack as fuck and our opinions are dog shit, and that we have no idea what we're talking about music, and that we should like this album for these reasons. Like, absolutely, like,
Yes.
shit on us
I
if
agree.
you feel the urge.
Well, I don't really feel the urge. I mean, legitimately, obviously we have big differences in opinions on this album. Me loving this album, I didn't necessarily seeing it being every single one of your guys' cup of tea. To be honest, it's something that had to grow on me, and it's I get it. I think honestly, even though like this is not like a hated or loved album by you guys, I really appreciated your thoughts. I think everyone articulated their thoughts on this really well, and it's interesting to hear, because some of the stuff I can't even see disagreeing with you on, even though I love the album so much more. So cool. But my thoughts on it, pretty much already said. It just does everything super well. I get like this full package out of it, and yeah, the instrumentation is diverse, but all blends together really well. She's giving me all these vibes that I'm picking up. Storytelling, whatnot. I don't know what else I really need to say. Yeah, I really appreciate it when I feel like an artist has just put their all into an album, and there's care in every detail. It's very long, but every song has something to sink my teeth into, pretty much. So for me, it's a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
It's an album I love and I
Primo.
return to a lot. So
Okay.
there you go. Yeah.
Cool. I was trying to sniff out a 10. I was like,
No,
is it a 10?
not quite.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Sniffing
Yeah.
that.
Like I said, I wanted to come in here with legitimate reasons why I didn't like it, and it took me a lot of grappling, because it is difficult to pin down, especially considering it's so long. But
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, I want to thank you for bringing the album to us.
Yeah.
Putting this as your number one last year, and us just being able to talk about your favorite album. I love that. Same with Cam. We already did that. So
Yeah, Mike Towers next. Like Mike, if we want to, at some
Oh
point.
my God.
I mean, who knows what we'll think?
I
Well, I mean-
we did 3 of ours. We did 21 Pilots. So
do.
I mean,
I do absolutely.
no, I didn't
love,
realize it was my favorite album at the time.
Right.
True.
that is true.
I do absolutely love the manner in which it was brought to the podcast, in that it almost like completely folded me in half in the Snapchat group when was it even
yeah.
before we did top 10 albums of the year or whatever. I don't know how long
Yeah.
ago it was, but anyway, it was a little while ago when we like first incepted the idea to do Little Simz on the podcast, because it was so high up on David's list. It must have been before, because this is the first mention of it that I had heard, and I obviously then come
This is
time
December
for the
29th. So
yeah, come time for the top 10 albums, it was like, oh yeah. So I guess I'll lead into it, and you guys can take over if you want, but David had listened to Little Simz and recommended it to Trevor, and had done so, I guess, for a number of months or something, at least a while. And Trevor then finally listened to the album without saying anything to David, and then told the group as a whole, oh yeah, like Little Simz was dope. And
Well, I think I sent him like a screenshot of the songs that I liked.
oh, or
And then
you
he
made
was
it.
like,
Maybe you made like a
"Hold up."
reference or something.
Yeah, and then he was like, "Hold up, you dickless bastard!" It came out of left field because I'm like sitting there talking about his favorite album, or like one of his favorites. Because this is when we were making the playlist. Yes. And so
Yeah.
I came back to it because you had it as your top fucking album. That's what it was.
Oh,
And you had made the playlist.
That's
you
what it
made
was.
The no
yeah.
skip act or whatever.
Yeah,
The
you made No
Act
Skip
playlist.
Act.
Yeah, and I looked through it and found Little Simz. With you not mentioning you had heard it at all.
Yes, that's what it was. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Correct.
Throw me
And
a
I'm-
freaking bone
cracked the
here.
mystery.
I'm just
Yeah.
David has like, I mean, I know it's like changed now, but I'm just still not used to it because I'm not like around you that much except for recording, and you don't swear that much when we're recording. So like, but you used to, as a rule, not swear at all. So I'm still not used to you swearing whatsoever. So I opened my phone and all I see is David, you dickless bastard. And it was just, man, like so perfectly out of left field.
My man was calling me track 2
Yeah, she's woman.
because I'm dickless. Yeah,
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
sorry. That was horrible.
That was pretty.
That was pretty Alex for sure.
Nah, that was pretty
Oh.
Cameron.
Yeah,
Taking
off-
shots right now. What the freak?
off pod.
I will say it's funny
Yeah,
as
dude.
hell the transformation that both David and I have had in the past like year and a half with curse words, because I have been trying to not curse as much, and I basically, like, at least in text, I don't say fuck anymore. I use frick, and that was David's like term for like everything. That's what he used. So
Yeah.
the fact that we kind of switched on that is just, I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say switched.
great.
It's
No.
not a,
I roasted him for years. I was like, why do you say frick? What is this? What are we? Are we
Nah, bro,
13?
Because fuck is reserved for hard hitting moments.
yeah.
It is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Double entendre. Ooh.
Oh, dang.
Ooh.
I feel like
steamy.
I feel like Frick was
Damn.
left behind by society.
It was.
Get
That's
fucking
dope.
eyebrow.
You just watch me emote.
Anyway.
There you have it, folks. And where are you gonna get this kind of dynamic?
Absolutely nowhere else.
Exactly.
Wanna do our
For
sign-offs?
men having a podcast, none of those exist except for ours. Rate us 5 stars on Spotify and iTunes podcast.
Jesus.
Hey.
Yeah, we deserve it at that.
That's my sound bite for the new intro coming up.
Yes, which we need to get a handle
For
on.
men
so-
on a podcast, no other ones exist. Rate us 5
Yeah.
stars.
Rate us 5 stars. Just
There you
throw
go.
that in there at the end of the intro.
Yeah,
There you go.
the record skip.
That would be hard. That would be hard.
I think
That
that
would
would
be
be
hard,
the
actually, I'm not gonna lie.
cheesiest. I think that would skyrocket our 1-star reviews.
Out and put the rated 5 stars at the end. That would be hilarious.
It would be like La Musica de Harry Fraud. It's like that type of vibe.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Jesus.
sir.
I don't
Yo,
think,
we just made a breakthrough on
Where are
the
we
pod.
I
going?
don't think in my right in our right minds we should do that, but
I absolutely think we should.
Maybe we need to get in our wrong minds to do it. Come on now.
rate us 5 stars. That's too much.
It's far too
That's
much.
too much.
In an intro.
You're right.
Just
It
a-
probably would be corny as fuck.
New
but-
viewers would be like the audacity of this.
yeah, it probably would come off wrong, but I
Bro,
think that'd be
old viewers would be like, the audacity of this.
hilarious. I have
Yeah.
to go do it now.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
Once we get 1 million subscribers, we can like go back and do that because people will realize we're joking. So we
Or
can make that our intro.
it might be polarizing. Like it might be like certain people like, what the frick are they trying to tell me? And some people will think it's just funny.
That's true.
Yeah,
I think
you're right.
You're right. Yeah, people will be 2 worlds apart on that one.
Yeah.
They will love it and hate it.
Love it and hate it, even better.
Some people will just misunderstood it. I don't know.
Let me get here.
God dang it, you freak.
And somebody will be rolling a stone on that one.
Okay, bro,
Jesus,
you
man.
didn't need to do it. You didn't need to do it.
You-
But none of us really did, so.
Speed us out of here.
You realize that was
Okay.
supposed to be terrible. Is my fake
Yeah.
bad jokes not just like that awful right now? Okay.
Sometimes I love
I'm gonna put it.
yeah.
I'm gonna put myself back in the closet.
It's like when a joke is so bad it's good, but then it goes around again and it's bad.
Cameron's trying to tell us these games.
Did a 520.
520. It did a 720 and ended up as a bad joke.
Jesus. He did a full
My
spin and
bad.
turned back
No.
around.
My bad, it was funny. All right, suckers. It's been real. It's been introverted. It's been extroverted. It's been whatever you want it to be. These guys suck dick for not liking this album. Freaking freak you, bro. I'm off the podcast. I quit.
The fingers down. I didn't see the fingers. Oh shit. You love it, man. Dude, the last 20 minutes of this podcast have been the best shit ever.
Chaotic
definitely
as frick.
definitely a fair take from David. With that, I will say, I don't know. I don't know if I throw both fingers up too and just say frick it. I don't know. I'm not gonna do it because that's David's thing. But like he said, stay verted, stay Uzi verted. We might do a little Uzi review if we feel like it.
Okay.
Let us know in the comments.
But not really, because I can't sit through his fucking music, man.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. Alright, we gotta stop.
Let us know if you'd like to see that in the comments. That'd be interesting for sure. So, with that, I will say, I love you all. Big hearts, opposite of the middle finger.
Take that, David.
Oh, darn.
Oh, darn.
Oh, my fucking cheeks, man. I aged like 4 years. Fuck this white skin.
Gosh.
Alright, here you go. Your turn.
It's mine.
Yes.
Oh, David went first, and then Alex. I'm a brick.
97 episodes later.
I'm
is it my
fucking.
turn?
I'm fucking out of it. Yeah,
my
we're doing great. We're doing the damn thing out here. Trevor's fanning himself. He's just so hot.
40-year-old woman. About to go into menopause.
Jesus Christ. All right.
Well, these men are about to pause this podcast.
I'm
You said
literally
what?
Never mind.
I'm just done. So be kind and stay safe.
Jesus Christ. These last 10 minutes were fucking great. Like I said, David, thank you for bringing this to us. Definitely enjoyed. Even if I didn't rate it so highly, I definitely enjoyed listening to it and hearing your thoughts about it. Can definitely see why you love it. We're gonna do for our next music review. We're gonna do a double feature. We're gonna do Conway the Machine's God Don't Make Mistakes and Benny the Butcher's Tana Talk 4, both of which just came out about a month ago. So, yeah, we're going to do that for you. A double feature. You got Jujutsu Kaisen's prequel movie coming out for us to review for you guys. So you got a lot of great content coming out. So, that'll be fun. Yeah. Peace out, beautiful people. Fuck you, David. This album's trash.